Right.
Hello, 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 everyone. This is Lois Kofi, and I have the esteemed honor and privilege today to interview an amazing travel agent, now an amazing business partner of mine. I'm here on the left coast out in southern sunny San Diego and still doing business, still rocking and rolling in spite of the coronavirus and everything that's going on in this pandemic that we're currently, as at the time of this recording, it is March 13th. 2020 and a whole new kind of March Madness that we never, ever, ever would have imagined is going on right now. And I have the pleasure of introducing you and interviewing Tracy Kay, who I'm going to tee off here with some questions about the current state of the travel industry and what she has chosen to do to future-proof her business, keep moving forward in spite of things that are quite honestly out of our control. And she became a business partner of mine in I Boomerang this past month. Actually, partially, well, I'll let you tell your story here in a second, Tracy. So we're going to do just a quick interview. Tracy, why don't you go ahead, start off, just really quickly introduce yourself and how long you've been a travel agent in the travel industry.
Okay, so I should mention, good morning. Well, good afternoon. What time is it? Yeah, it's afternoon. I'm Tracy Kay. I call myself the Joyful Voyager. I have been doing travel unofficially for many years, planning trips and such. And so about just over 2 years ago, I decided to do it officially. So I went ahead and hung up my shingle as an official travel agent. I'm like, I might as well do this. I've been doing it for so long for people. Let's just do it officially. So I have tended to specialize in clients that like that concierge service. They want everything to be handled from soup to nuts. I want to get off the airplane. I want to be met. I want to be taken to my hotel. Everything's planned out for them, so I don't have to do anything. And so that I do all of that planning. Now, what I wanted to talk about, and let me know if you want to start with questions first.
Oh yeah, I have the questions because again, we want to stay laser beam focused.
Let's do that, and then I'll tell you what I think the future holds.
Perfect, awesome.
Okay.
So my next question is, you've been in the travel industry officially 2 years, unofficially a lot longer. A lot of people love to travel, and now we are faced with this coronavirus, and I've gotten calls. Two different kinds of calls, and I want to know personally how this has impacted you. But I've gotten the calls from the travel agents who are looking to partner with us and I Boomerang, and they said, my business is shut down. I need you now. And then I've gotten the other ones, my business is shut down and I don't have the money to invest in your technology right now. So you obviously invested. I want to know, how has the coronavirus impacted your business this month?
Okay, well, it's hit it like a ton of bricks, basically. I've had cancellations left and right. I've had big groups going on cruises that have chosen to cancel. And, and for me, it's sad. I mean, because, obviously you want to have a good business year, but my big concern is for my clients. And I completely understand that they need to do this. And so the approach I'm taking is like, okay, this is beyond my control. I really can't do anything. I'm just trying to counsel people the best that I can about things like travel insurance, what to do. And also, I just want people to understand that this too will pass. This is not going to be the first or last time. We've had other things like Ebola and other things that have happened in the past that have affected the travel industry. And, you hope something like this doesn't happen, but this too will pass. But that doesn't mean something else won't happen. But, you just keep moving forward. You keep planning for the future because it will pass.
That's awesome. Thank you. So it was such a great mindset. That's awesome. So even before you think about the coronavirus, granted, you're still relatively newer in the industry. How did you come to choose to partner with I Boomerang, knowing that we are a do-it-yourself online booking technology platform. I call us like the Lamborghini of Expedia. Where we have way more offerings than Expedia and Travelocity, and there's some secrets of the travel industry that you and I both know now as a result of I Boomerang. How did you come to choose to partner with us?
Okay, well, for one thing, ironically, I had been looking for something like this for a while, because the clients that book with me, they tend to spend quite a bit on their vacations because they like the more upscale travel. But what I discovered is that a lot of those same clients wouldn't necessarily use me for every trip, because not every trip was one of these big luxury trips. They had business travel. They just had, I'm going to take my wife to Cancun for the weekend or whatever it was. And they would just go off and book it. You don't get everything. So I thought, I need to have a way to make it easier for my clients to do this, because if you set out to do that now, there's a lot of, and there's a lot of do-it-yourself travelers out there that they're still going to, so I'm like, I need to do something for them, because it's tough. What do? You go out there right now, you got Travelocity, Expedia, hotels, Well, that all takes time. And then I also knew, that you could or could not get a deal, for which we'll talk about here in a minute. But I was like, I want to make it easier for them. And then I want to make it easy for them to get, when I saw the options that I Boomerang had with a travel membership, I'm like, holy cannoli. You get, how many people, Coach Lois, that like to use Airbnb for a lot of travels? I was always like, I would just say, it could work, it could not work. You just never know what you're going to get. One of the wonderful things about I Boomerang is that we have a quote Airbnb option. All of these residences are vetted, so people can book with confidence. You have everything from luxury properties, and I want to bring up a point about that. There's a lot of my clients belong to travel investment clubs where they have bought in to an equity fund where they actually, for 10 years, they invest money and they get to vacation at these really, seriously expensive homes, $4 to $5 million homes. At the end of the 10 years, then their investment was, supposed to have increased so that they make money. It's a good investment because international real estate is rising. But here's the thing, you need at least 6 figures to get into something like that.
Wow.
What if you don't want to do that? You can get into, for a fraction of the cost, you could get into I Boomerang and have access to multi-million-dollar properties, because we have that. Then there's people with timeshares. I always go, stop before you buy that timeshare, because guess what? I can't tell you how many clients I talk to that own timeshares. They're trying to sell them, or they like it, they just don't use it enough. I'm like, guess what? You can take your timeshare, put it out there for weeks that you don't want to use, and you could make money if somebody books it. And you can even just list your weeks. You can go to other places. And I'm like, don't even buy a timeshare, because we have access to those.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw, I'm scrolling. We are, both you and I are investors in what we call the next Amazon or the next Expedia group, if you will. I'm going to put a stat here, or a secret that I didn't know. Expedia Group and Booking Holdings own all the public do-it-yourself booking platforms, and they booked to the tune of 190 billion with a B in 2018. So if you can't beat them, join them in a lot of aspects. Even Warren Buffett will say that, if we could go back and turn back the hands of time and had invested in Expedia or Facebook or Amazon or Uber, and every time we referred out this free website or free app, because we have both in our repertoire here with I Boomerang and Vibe Rides. We're not going to talk about our rideshare company today, but ultimately you invested in something that is going to pay you residual income and dividends for years to come. So I'd like to know, so far, because you're still in your first 30 days, truth be told, how has I Boomerang, what have you seen so far, even with the coronavirus? Because our businesses haven't slowed down in I Boomerang because of the coronavirus? What have you seen?
Well, here's the thing. There's a couple of things I've seen. One, people that travel for business who may not have a choice to do that, they want to be able to save money. And to the point that you just made, the two major companies that run things, Booking Holdings and Expedia, not a lot of people know that when you go out to these websites, hotels.com, chances are one of the two of them owns it. And you think you're getting a good price, but they control the public pricing that you see on the internet. That is not the real savings. And that's what's great about I Boomerang, is that we actually give you behind the curtains pricing. And I know all about that. I was blown away because I have access to certain tools as a travel agent that would be more behind the curtains pricing. And even I was blown away by the comparison on the pricing. I was like, what? I was just, I've already booked travel, but people are still, they're still wanting to travel. They're still planning to travel. And so, like I said, we want to get a tool into their hands. I've got business owners using this because they see the value of, oh my goodness, I travel, but you know what? Because we have a system where once you have a membership, you also can share those savings with other people. They share them with their valuable clients, people that they do business with, customers. And let me tell you something. In the world of business, we all know that branding is important and staying top of mind with our clients is important. Mm-hmm. But let me ask you something. I mean, as a travel agent, if you get a bottle of champagne for me in your cruise room or your hotel, you go, oh, isn't that wonderful? Tracy's fantastic. Thank you for that wonderful gift. But, you enjoyed that champagne and you may or may not think about me. But what if I give you the ability to save a lot of money on your travel that you can use forever? So what happens? Whenever you go to that resource, who do you think about? The person that gave it to you.
It's so funny you mentioned that. That's a phenomenal leave behind gift. And we've had realtors, insurance agents,
I've had realtors,
financial advisors, business coaches. I'm a professional speaker and success coach, and I use these as gifts for all of my clients because, again, most people travel. And here's a question I didn't kind of preface with, and I don't know the answer.
Okay.
If you could pick a percentage of how many people do any kind of internet research before they call you, how many of them do you think have already started looking at their vacation before calling you?
Every single one of them. And I'll tell you why. I've had people that I put on luxury cruises, and at the same time, I'm pulling together things for them and options. They're like, well, my research has shown me blah, 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 blah. Customers, today's traveler is pretty savvy. I mean, they go out to the internet, they start looking, but they appreciate that, I need to talk to you because there's 20 websites out there. I don't know what to do, who to talk to. So this is where I come in because I'm like, okay, if you want to do this, I know how to do this. But I'm like, oh my gosh. So every single one of them has done research. But here's the beautiful thing about I Boomerang. You go one place. I had somebody that I shared this with. He went right out there, went on the site, booked a hotel in Paris and saved $200 that he was blown away. He could not find it on a public site. And I said, I told you wouldn't. So, and he's as happy as a clam. Guess he's going to think about every single time he goes to that site. Little old me.
So you didn't, because one thing I've heard from travel agents that I have talked about this, it's kind of been hot or cold. Yeah. Some of them are, even way before the coronavirus, some of them are afraid that that fear of loss, like, I'm going to lose customers and they're not going to think they need me anymore. But it sounds like you've actually added value, and now they're going to actually love you even more and probably send you more referrals and more business and help you build a residual income stream at the same time. Is that correct?
And that's what I'm trying to do. And I'm trying to share with other travel agents as well, that you want to future-proof your business because of a trend that's happening. And I think I mentioned it. There are going to be those that continue to come to me to plan those trips that are stem to stern planned luxury trips. But a lot of people are taking control for themselves and planning their own travel. And to future-proof your business, you need to have both. You can't just depend upon the client that's going to come to you for these really nice trips. A lot of them are going to be traveling. You want to be able to capture that business and give them value. You want to give them value at the same time. I mean, like I said, I mentioned these travel clubs that you can join. They are expensive. And if you look at a timeshare, you're going to invest minimum of 5 figures. You do one of these travel clubs, you're looking at 6 many times. For a fraction of that, we give so much value to our clients. And it also, what's nice, what I love about it is that every time somebody activates one of their website, their portal that they get to use, we feed a hungry child through the I Boom Foundation. I mean, and what I really love about it is that the only way that I, the travel agent, make money is if they save money. So I love the whole givers mentality of I Boomerang. I make money if you save money. That's it, which is great for me.
Yeah, and I just posted right here on the ticker, if you want to call it that, is we have over 500,000 users in 186 countries, and we just celebrated our first anniversary, and we've actually fed over 7 million children. That doesn't reflect just from the bookings. We also have a very philanthropic owner, a very philanthropic philosophy. So if you're a travel agent, and then I'm going to let you close it out. I have one final short, quick, easy question.
Yeah.
If you're a travel agent out there, you can already hear and see how we're just #just different, and how adding us as another tool in your tool belt of offerings opens up your world, because we do business in 186 countries. I live here in San Diego. Keep in mind, there may be people canceling spring break. There may be schools closing, but guess what? We have thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of staycation items right here. You can save incredible savings at resorts, 5-star resorts, and do excursions, dolphin tours, just all these whale watching tours and trolley tours right in your own backyard. You don't have to get on a plane.
Nope.
That's where a lot of people, I think, when they hear travel and the coronavirus or whatever, because there's always something that could happen in the future, right? That will impede upon the travel capabilities. And so I just wanted to reiterate that too. If you're a travel agent and maybe you specialize in certain areas, now instead of here, your world is your oyster. You can help anybody in any country and help them anywhere, right?
Well, and that's an excellent point, Lois, because right now, as a US-based travel agent, I am allowed to actually book travel for people with US passports or Canadian passports. You have to have an address or a residence in either country. So I have friends that live in other countries that's like, gee, I want you to book my trip to America. It's like, oh, I wish I could. But guess what? With I Boomerang, I have global reach now. I can serve anybody in any country. I can give the ability to save up to 70% with this tool, and it puts the power in their hands to save a great deal of money. I'm excited about that. I'm talking to people around the world that I know, and they're excited about it too. This is resonating with travel agents because they understand what I'm saying. You're only as good as your next, deal. You sell something, you get a commission for it. But then that client has to come back to you again for a trip. So you have to keep yourself front of mind. But this does it for you because they get something that they get to use forever. And, and we have good deals, in the travel business. So it also markets to them and goes, hey, this is really, it markets to them. The Argyle website markets to people. So I'm like, oh, this is fantastic. I mean, this is better than any mailer. This is better than it's fantastic for people.
Let me ask you one last question, because I wanted to keep this to a shorter time frame. But we could probably talk for 5 hours on this and the reasons why not only travel agents, but really any sharp-minded business owner, because we all know Warren Buffett, Robert Kiyosaki, you don't have 6 to 9 to 12 streams of income. Like, look what's happening in the stock market right now. If you're relying on the stock market and your job as your future, there's no guarantees with a job or the stock market. And so why don't you give some closing remarks? Anything you haven't said, Tracy, as to why travel agents, and really any sharp, ambitious business owner, but travel agents specifically, because that's what you are, why they should consider joining I Boomerang and partnering with us. Any final words?
Yeah, the final word is that, you mentioned the residual income. That's another important component of I Boomerang. As you build relationships and you have people get a membership and they can share with others, the nice thing about it is it builds a residual income from you, because every time someone saves money, we get 50% of that back to us in the form of cash. Now you're talking about, this is like considered a big snowball going downhill. It keeps building, it keeps building, keep building. So literally the tentacles of your business can spread out everywhere. And so you're helping people, you're feeding a hungry child, people are saving money, then you get paid. And this builds as a residual income to you over time. So this is another stream of income. So you don't give up what you're doing primarily. You still work with your niche, but this is incredible. And like I said, there is no other value out there like this. It's a fraction of the cost to do this as compared to other, travel clubs and such. And for a business owner, huge. This is a tax write-off if you use this in your business. Check with your friendly neighborhood accountant, but I'm pretty sure you can write the cost of this off, because if you use this in your business expense, so it becomes an operating expense.
Well, and you said one last thing, and then I'll close it out. We save up to 80% or sometimes more, a lot of times less, off of your own travel and all sorts of other things. We have our own ride share, we have wine club, golf club, we have other presentations that we can share with you. So I just really finally just want to say thank you, Tracy. Thank you for those of you that are watching this. This is going to be on YouTube forever. So I encourage you to get back to whoever invited you to watch this, or however you have found this presentation. You can absolutely reach out to me, but I know there's hundreds and hundreds of people on our team. We want to honor and be of integrity. So please get back to them and heck, get started. Future-proof your business and really have another stream of income, because you never know. You never know when we're going to have another pandemic or another recession, or you just have too much month at the end of money, or an illness that sets you out and can cause you to really be struggling financially. So thank you again, Tracy. We're going to end it now and wish you guys all the best. Be well.